Good afternoon, Reverb. This is DK with Mr. V Amps, and this is a Peavey Heritage VTX amplifier that came out in about 1984. This amplifier is a hybrid, meaning that it has a transistor front end and 4 6L6 tubes as the output, delivering a stated power of 130 watts. Extremely powerful amplifier. We have USA made Peavey branded tubes that test a 9 on our orange VT1000 tester, which is as good as new. This has the Black Widow speakers in it, which are efficient. They have huge magnets, just overkill, and a lot of detailed adjustments for the sound and tuning. This amp has been completely refurbished here at our shop. We disassemble it, we clean it, thoroughly clean it. You're not buying anybody else's cooties, and we remove any kind of nastiness that may have come from playing out on the road. We'll take a look over the control panel at the various features, and then we'll fire it up and give it a listen. Okay, let's take a look around on our amplifier, starting from the left side of the control panel. We have high gain, low gain, which is kind of a standard thing if you have a loud instrument or a soft instrument, or if you just want your guitar to sound mellow, you can always plug into the lower gain input, which will generally produce a cleaner tone. The lead gain channel, we have our pre, our post, and our saturation. The way this generally works is this is your preamp, how much signal you're driving. Post is kind of like a master volume for this channel, how much you're actually allowing to escape the amplifier. And the saturation is almost like how gritty the distortion is. You can have a smooth distortion by leaving the saturation rolled back, or you can roll it forward for a lot of grind. There is a bright function achieved by pulling on this knob. The equalization, low, mid, high, which is labeled as pull for thick. If you pull this out, you kind of get an upper mid boost, and it adds some more backbone to the mid to high end of your signal. Makes it a little bit meatier if it sounds a bit too thin. And then you have a presence, which does quite a bit to deal with the top end. We'll scroll down here. Our second channel is what they call the normal gain channel. And the normal gain channel again has a pre and a post without the saturation, so it's more of a cleaner style distortion when you do drive it, if you choose to. The equalization, we have low, middle, and high, and the collar on the mid will allow you to shift that midpoint up or down to really tweak and get the sound that you want. The other thing that's really, really neat on the Heritage is you're able to combine channel 1 and channel 2 together through the switch and play essentially a very crunchy tone that may be dark, and then blend a cleaner, brighter tone on top of it for more clarity. These amplifiers were very popular with southern rock musicians, from what I understand, for this feature. The next one here is a phaser, and the phaser is what it sounds like, and if you really get it going, to me it sounds a lot like a Leslie simulator. On the phaser there's also a pull to set, where instead of the phaser running up and down making the effect, you can stop it in a given place for a boost of a particular frequency. Not much unlike cocking a wah pedal to achieve kind of a desired nasal frequency. And then we have a reverb, which is our Accutronics spring reverb. And then we have our power switch and our standby switch, which our standby switch has both low power and high power options. So you can really, really roar with this amplifier. They're notoriously extremely loud, which I would love to play it very loud, but our camera microphone will not be able to handle that, let alone our camera seems to have trouble staying level on the tripod. But that is our control panel and our lot. We also have the foot switch for it, and on the foot switch, which is an original foot switch, we have the channel switching, which would be selector. Channel 1 and 2 is the first button. The second button is combiner, which would put channel 1 and channel 2 together, as I spoke of earlier. A button to turn on and off the phaser, and one to turn on and off the reverb. Okay, the amplifier is now powered on, and it is currently on the lead gain channel as reflected by the red light. By pressing the selector switch on the foot switch, we can switch it between the standard gain and the lead gain channels. Or by pressing the combiner button, we can turn both channels on, allowing both channels to sound. Okay, so we'll begin with the normal gain channel. We have our pre-set at 1.5, our post set at 1, and all of the EQ flat. The guitar is a Gibson, so a little on the dark side, which is to be expected with this type of pickup. Turn our treble up. And that does help quite a bit. Or we can use the pull for bright. So either turning up the treble or pulling the bright switch out definitely improves the amount of treble we have. The post will just add volume and add volume until we scare the neighbors. Let's just go through our knobs here. These have all been cleaned and are running nice and quietly. So low. Middle. And we can shift that position around. Or you can use it to be notched, where you're cutting a frequency rather than boosting it. And that gives you a lot of options for clarity. Let's see how the normal gain channel handles overdrive and distortion. So we'll turn the post volume down so we don't overdrive our camera microphone. And seem to be lacking a little bit in treble, but that is possibly because we have the volume as low as we do. So we'll bring that up. So the normal gain channel has some distortion, but it's not an extreme distortion. We'll go back to a cleaner setting, which is an extremely loud setting. It's very easy to get this amp too loud for the microphone in the camera. And we have the phaser here. We'll turn that on. I find if you take the depth back and turn the speed up a bit, it sounds a bit to me like a Leslie. And the range, you can pull this out and it will stop at any given point. So we can set it to your preferred setting if you like that fixed phase setting. And then the reverb, which works just fine. We'll turn that up a bit. So it's a classic Accutronics 2-spring reverb like you would see in many other twin 12 amplifiers. Okay, so let's get this channel to be nice and clean and bright, make it really sort of define itself. And then we'll come over and try the lead gain channel. As you can see, when working with just these two knobs, we have very similar sound to what we had with the normal gain channel. Except this channel is definitely louder. Let's try to brighten up our guitar a little bit. As I bring the saturation in, the distortion really starts to kick in. Probably a little excessive, maybe even volume-wise for our port camera microphone. Okay, and then if I push the combiner button, you'll see both of these light up, and I'll have my clean tone on top of my distorted tone. So it adds a lot more clarity to my distortion tone. I have no idea if my camera microphone can handle this or not, but this amplifier is set to the low power setting and to very low master volumes, and it's still loud. This is a very, very loud amplifier. So that gives you a general tour of our Peavey Heritage VTX series. It's been completely teched over here. It's working great. It's been cleaned. It's in extremely good shape from approximately 1984. And I appreciate you watching, and hopefully we'll see you on Reverb. Have a great day.